Hey guys, back on another video, and today we're going to be talking about Destined Rivals once again. And quickly before I start the video, I did make a Discord server, and if you want to join, I will link the invite down in the comment section and in the description. Here we can talk about Pokemon investments, slabs, singles, upcoming drops, and anything you want to talk about we can just discuss and help each other out as a community. And let's get into the video. So 2 days ago, I made a video titled Destined Rivals is changing Pokemon TCG investing. And in the video, you can see Destined Rivals was going for around $365 and there were 255 listed. And 2 weeks ago, I made a video titled My $50,000 Pokemon Card Portfolio. And you can see Destined Rivals was going for $320 and 410 were listed. So in a 2 week span, it went up around $50 and 155 sold. If we take a quick look at prices right now, it's going for $398 and 191 are listed. So in 2 days, it went up another $30 and another 64 has sold, and that's pretty insane. And people are actually paying $399, $398. And I do understand Destined Rivals is the best regular set in all of Scarlet and Violet, and it is better than most Sword and Shield products. The only one that I think is better is Evolving Skies. So I do understand the FOMO because I did buy two down here at $220. One of them is for my personal collection, so I can build a display like Pokeplumber, and it's never gonna get sold. And the other one I bought to start my DCA. And when I bought when market was at $250, in my mind, I believe that if Pokemon did decide to print Destined Rivals to the ground during that year, the lowest that it would hit would be $140 in my personal opinion. And $80 to $100 booster boxes during the Sword and Shield era was just crazy. I don't think any Scarlet and Violet set in Mega Evolution will ever hit those prices again. 140 is probably the lowest a booster box will go. That's just my complete opinion. And if it hit $140 and I bought another one, then that would put my cost basis to around MSRP because it costs $160. However, shipping and tax brings it up to around $170. So that's why I did buy one at $220 just to start my DCA and have a small position in it. And looking back right now, at $398, $220 was a steal. I should have bought more. And in the video I talked about it. I was offered a bunch of these at $220, $230, and even cases. My friend had someone selling cases, and they're offering it to me around $1,600 to $1,800, and I completely passed on it. And I should have bought them. However, during this time period, I was spending my money on Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes for Prismatic Evolutions, and that was the reprint. And I spent most of my money on this product at the time because I did heavily believe that Prismatic Evolutions was the best product in all of Scarlet and Violet. And Prismatic Evolutions is part of the G block, which rotates out 1 year earlier than Destined Rivals. So I thought I had a little more time, and Prismatic already got reprinted so many times, so I thought this would be the last time that this will get reprinted, and it will be my last chance to get at such low prices. $200 was the all-time low for Prismatic Evolutions. And if you look at the prices right now, I didn't do that bad. The gains are relatively similar. But I should have sold all my stocks, my Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta. I should have sold all of that and bought Destined Rivals. And then I could have sold half of this and rebought all the stocks back again. And let's talk about Destined Rivals. As I said earlier, Destined Rivals is part of the I block, which means it gets rotated out in 2028. The G block gets rotated out in 2026. H is 2027 and I is 2028. So there is time for Destined Rivals to get reprinted. It only came out 4 months ago, and it typically takes Pokemon 6 months-ish to reprint a set. So we should be expecting a reprint pretty soon. And at $400, is it a good buy? And Destined Rivals, we all know it's going to be $1,000 one day. 5, 6, 7 years down the line, it will easily be $1,000. But $400, It's not a bad buy if you have the funds to dollar cost average your way down. And for me personally, I only bought one buy. I should have bought more and DCA down, but I spent so much on other products like Prismatic Evolutions, Sword and Shield booster boxes, 151, that I just don't have a lot of money to spend. So I am kind of trying to time the market, and timing the market in Pokemon is a lot different than stocks. It is a little more predictable in my opinion. But if you don't want to time the market at $400, it is not a bad buy if you can buy it at 350 again, 300, 250, 200, 150. If it goes down that low, if you can continuously buy at those prices, $400 is not a bad buy. And I know there are people out there saying wait for MSRP, but if that doesn't happen, you might miss out. And I might miss out too trying to time the market. And like if Destined Rivals just doesn't reprint the booster boxes, I'm gonna completely miss out on this set because I only have my one that I bought at 220. I wouldn't have any more. So, and back then at $250, I did believe that the floor price for Destined Rivals would be $200. I did not believe Destined Rivals, would ever hit MSRP. And now I do have to raise my floor price. I do believe Destined Rivals floor price would be around $240 to $260. So I raised it around $40 to $60. And with how fast Destined Rivals is rising, I wouldn't be surprised to see it hit $500 by the end of the year before the reprints happen. And that's, I guess, after the first reprint is when I will start my dollar cost average. I really don't want to miss out on this set, so DCing is probably the best option. I generally like to wait around 6 to 12 months after 1 or 2 reprints to see the price action on a product. So if Destined Rivals after first reprints hits around $325 to $300, I will pick up 1 or 2 booster boxes and I'll try to get a case if I can get it for a good deal. And let's take a quick look at the other Destined Rivals product. The Pokemon Center Elite Training Box is sitting at $350. The regular Elite Training Box is sitting at $100. This product I will wait a little longer to buy because we saw with Prismatic Evolutions, Costco released them, Target released them, every store released them. So I will wait a little longer for this product, but I am praying that Pokemon Center restock this product. We saw with Prismatic Evolutions that got restocked 3 times. And down here at $180, one of my sellers who sold me 10 Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer boxes from Pokemon Center, he also threw in 10 of these. He offered it to me at $140 if I took them all. And I declined because I wanted to only buy Prismatic Evolutions at the time, and that's a big mistake. And you can see this price is catching up to Prismatic Evolutions, and it would have been $60 cheaper for me because I was paying around $200 to $220 for Prismatic. So that's a big mistake that I made. And yeah, right now I'm just waiting for these reprints because I still firmly believe that Pokemon will reprint this. As you can see with Surging Sparks, Surging Sparks was rising up, and then once the reprint hit it, it went from around, I think, like 260, 270, all the way back down to 210. And if Destined Rivals hits like what, 450, 500, a reprint can cause fear in the market and send it down like $100, $120, But we'll have to see, Pokemon, no one knows what they're doing besides themselves, and they can reprint a lot of this. We just have to wait and see. And in the comment section, this individual said, "You think buying the booster box now at $350 is too expensive?" I said, personally, I do, but if you don't mind holding it in case of reprints in the future and having that money being stagnant, which, if they do reprint it, your money won't be going up or down. It'll probably be going down if they reprint it. And buying more later down the line, then $350 is fine. And I still agree with that, If you aren't scared of reprints and you can continuously buy the dip, then $400 is perfectly fine too. And this individual said, people are asking the same question with Evolving Skies. DR is the best regular set of SV era. I completely agree with that. Booster boxes won't see massive reprints due to all the other sets needing to be printed. And I don't know about that because Destined Rivals is one of the hottest sets in all of Scarlet and Violet. Pokemon knows to focus on that set. And if they do, price will maybe drop 25% before it gets sold out in a week and jumps back to previous all-time highs. And I do agree with this, you know, his take isn't bad. It's pretty good. We won't see booster boxes drop below 300. See, we literally don't know. $300 booster box is pretty insane, and if it never drops below 300 again, it might be one of the booster boxes to never hit MSRP and below, and that's pretty crazy. But I am hoping for it to go below $300 personally, because I do want to build a very large position Destined Rivals. Before I got greedy, I wanted to wait until $200 and I'll buy a bunch of cases of it. But now my investing plan has changed. I will make an in-depth video of how I'm going to invest into Destined Rivals. But I just wanted to get this video out there. Did I mess up investing into Destined Rivals? What do you think? Should I have bought more down here, and should I have bought more at $300? Do you think reprints will tank the prices? Join the Discord. Thank you for the support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.